Welcome to The Grind with Chris, where raw conversations meet real growth with life-changing perspectives.
I think that one of society's biggest problems right now is that everybody is quick to blame everyone else for their problems and their situations. No one is willing to hold themselves accountable. In this episode, we're going to talk about the lack of accountability and how it's deeply rooted in a lot of the problems, not only with ourselves, but with people around us. And listen, for years, I wasn't accountable. I blamed everyone else around me. I blamed people who didn't even know me, and I blamed the world. But it was then that I started to accept responsibility for my own actions, and that's when the change started to happen. Now, I want to let you know, this episode is not here to attack or divide anybody. This episode is needed for those who want to change and don't know how, to first have to look at their situation and understand that we are where we put ourselves. It's nobody else's fault. No politicians, no parents, no friends. We are the reason that we're in the situation that we're in, and we're the only person that's ever going to get us out of it. I waited years for somebody to come and rescue me. I waited years for someone to magically knock on the door and say, I'm here to save you. I'm here to give you $1 million so you don't have to worry about nothing. It never happened. And until I decided that, hey, I'm the reason I'm here. I'm the reason that I'm not as far in life as I wanted to be. I'm the reason why I did those drugs. Once we accept that, we can move forward. Growth starts when we stop blaming everyone else. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything because that's not the way I am. I am an addict. I think about doing drugs on occasion. I don't act on it, but I still think about it. I was popular when that stuff happened. I had people around, people I thought were my friends. They weren't. They left the first sign of me wanting to change. And now nobody comes around. Nobody wants to be there for me when I need them. I've had to rebuild myself from the ground up all alone. And a lot of the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want you to have to do that. It's hard. It's been a long, hard road. But I am not without flaws. I was a cheater. I was a drug addict. I've lied. I've stolen. I've robbed. There's not many things that you can do that I haven't already done. And I look at it even sometimes as some of the people that I sold drugs to are permanently messed up. Some will never come back to the innocent person that they were before I got them hooked on them. Some are going to be screwed up for the rest of their lives. And that's my fault. And in a way, in my eyes, it's a form of murder. I robbed them of a part of their life. And now some of them will never change. It's a hard fact to live with. We don't think about it. All I ever cared about was the money I made. I didn't care about how they were going to turn out. I didn't think 20 years ahead and think, oh, they're going to lose their kids, their families, their spouses. All I was in the moment. And at that moment, I was making money. It's all I ever cared. And then I got out of the lifestyle, and now I look at it as I messed up. It was my fault. Still is my fault. And the thing is I never would have been able to change that. I never would have been able to recognize any of this if I never would have became accountable for my own actions. Accountability is a big deal. And there's going to be people who resist this. There's going to be people who make comments. Because once truth starts being said, that's when you'll see the resistance. And many of those people who will resist what I'm trying to say, they have their own problems with their own accountability. It's a fact. They're not willing to accept that they are a cause of why they're there. When I was in prison, I saw a lot of people. And many of those people would always say, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. Somebody else put me in here. I was that guy. I blamed the kid that I was hanging out with, the one that gave me the stuff to get rid of. I blamed him that he was the reason I was in there. Then I started to look at, he may have pushed it, but I ultimately still made that choice to sell those drugs. I made that choice to ask him to hook me up so I didn't struggle. I could have packed my stuff and went home. I could have came back to my wife and my son, but I didn't. And granted, it all turned out for better because I needed prison. I wouldn't have changed. I would have moved right back to North Dakota and I would have kept doing something eventually. I needed a wake-up call. I needed time in the penalty box. It changed me and it helped me to become accountable. But I've been jealous of people my whole life. I've always had jealousy. Jealous of what they have. Jealous of what they're doing. A lot of the reason why I don't hang out on social media. Because it causes me to be jealous of what other people have. People tell me that I have a good life, but that still doesn't mean I'm where I want to be. So when I see people that are where I want to be, I get jealous. You can't say that you don't. That's why we choose to watch other people's lives. It's because we like to live vicariously through them. But it doesn't have to be that way. You're just as capable as doing anything that they're doing, but you have to do it. You have to take action. Took me years to plan this podcast. And then towards the beginning of it, I was talking myself out of it. I was scared of what people were going to think. Would people listen to me? The internet can be a very ruthless place. People can be very ruthless. But I'm at a point in my life where I don't care what other people think anymore. If I could save one person, if I could help change someone's life and help them to become accountable, that I'm doing what I was sent to do. That's all I want. I want to prevent someone like my nephew from killing themselves. Someone like my nieces who are slicing their arms. Someone from sticking that pipe to their mouth. Someone doing angel dust and ending up in the hospital. There's so many of us out there that are hiding through our addictions. Every reason while you're doing addictions, whether it's hiding from a problem, thinking, oh, the problem will go away. It doesn't. It's still there when you're done. It's time we just face them. It sucks. It's hard. But I promise, it's way worth it once you do. There's no life in doing drugs. There's no life in being an alcoholic. There's no life in cheating on your wife. Accountability changed everything. Changed my mindset. It changed the way I walked, the way I looked at the world. It caused me to stop hating people for no reason. Nobody ever did me anything. The people who did, I put myself in those positions to allow it. Now, I'm just more cautious with who I become friends with. I'm more cautious about who I put myself around. I became accountable that that's why I allowed it to happen. We have to stop making excuses. We have to stop saying it's his fault or her fault, their fault. It's just a scapegoat for us. It's a way for us not to look down, accept the truth, and use it to grow. Technology is disconnecting families and friends. I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to sit here and down social media and say that it doesn't have its benefits, because it does. And it's cool to be able to connect with people that you haven't connected with in years. It's cool to go and see how people that you grew up with are doing. Because I don't know about you, but the people that I am friends with, the people that I built my life around younger, are the only people that really have anything left to do with me. Friendships when you were younger, middle school, sometime high school, those were authentic, real friendships. Most of the time now, people only come around, people only become my friend because I have something that they want. I believe that a lot of friendships these days are only built because people have an agenda present. And when that agenda isn't present, they're not there. And I say the same thing as for me. Most of the time, I don't become friends with anybody unless I need something from them. And it sucks. I miss the old days. I miss the days where we got together. We encouraged each other. We built each other. We didn't down them. We didn't bully them. Sure, it was around. But a lot of the problems stem from the parents. I talked about that, and I will continue to talk about it in episodes. I'm not going to go into detail because I've already spoke on it. But we as parents have to look in the mirror and say we are the reason our kid's bullying somebody. Most of the people I know that were bullies, their dads were doing things to them at home. They weren't good enough. They were too hard on them. They'll never amount to anything. I heard this stuff. I had stuff happen. I didn't bully nobody. I would actually say I was probably bullied more than anything because of the clothes I wore. Because I wasn't as rich or as financially free as some of the people I went to school with. We allow petty things to divide us as people. We can't sit here anymore and say it's that politician who did it. It's this person that did it. It's that person that did it. We have to accept responsibility, stop making excuses, and move forward with our lives. People's attention spans are at an all-time low. I make videos, I make clips. And everything that I read and everything that does is, you got 2 minutes at most. You've got 5 to 10 seconds to capture someone's attention on TikTok, on any reel. And if you don't, they swipe past you. They don't bother to try to listen to the things you have to say. They don't bother to try to learn from anything on there. Our attention spans are ridiculously low. And we have to change that. The only way we're going to do it is by accepting that it's our fault. All of us. Me included. I'm never going to say that it's your fault. I'm a part of society just as much as anybody else. I'm no different. And anybody who says that they are, they're lying. We have all pitched in to put us to where we are. And the only way we're ever going to recover from it, the only way we're ever going to become different is by accepting that we are a part of the problem. It's hard to face that. It's hard to look at it and accept the reality. Nobody wants to be accountable. Nobody. But the only way we progress, the only way we learn, the only way that we change is by accepting that fact. Families spend way less time together than they ever have. And it's a problem. People are slicing their wrists. People are hanging themselves. And a majority of them, they have deeper problems. But a lot of the ones I talk to, a lot of the ones that I get to sit down with, say they just want attention. They just want their parents to pay attention to them. They're only doing it for attention. Isn't that why a lot of us do a lot of things? That's why I sold drugs. That's why I always wanted to drive a better car. That's why I wanted to have that cool watch, those nice shoes, because we wanted to be accepted. It's a part of human life. And I understand we all have to go to work every day. Society is becoming more and more to where I know some people working 3 jobs and they're barely surviving. 3 jobs. So what's happening? It's our parents. They're not able to spend the time with us. They're at work. I'm at work. And then when I am home, I'm doing this kind of stuff. So I don't spend the time that I should with my wife. I don't spend the time I should with my son. Granted, I hope that eventually this works itself out to where I can have more time. But I have to work a full-time job right now. And then I have to cram all this stuff in. I'm losing sleep. I'm having late nights. I don't blame anybody else for it. It's my responsibility. And it's a sacrifice I have been willing to make. But we have to put down our phones. We have to put down our computers. Our kids are begging and screaming for us. Look around. Look at the way your kid's acting. I bet you, if you put down your phone for even just an hour a day, did something that your son or daughter, things would become different. But some of us, we're going and doing the work, and we're going to the bar right after. Or we come home and we pound 6, 7 beers. Your kids aren't getting the full you. They're getting a version of you that ain't that great. Trust me, I know. I grew up around it. My wife grew up around it. I don't get my parents. My parents, I got the drunk version. I got the version that thought it was more important to go out, have fun. But what is the point of us having kids if we're just going to do the same thing that our parents did? I've done the same exact thing that my parents did. I've neglected my kids. I've got a bad relationship with 3 of them, if I even have a relationship with them. I haven't seen one of them in God knows how long. One of them is very upset with me because I wasn't in her life. And then when we finally met each other, I wasn't the person that she hoped. The person in her mind that she had envisioned. And I can't change myself any more than I already have. But I can tell you one thing. If you don't like this version of me now, you never will like the version of me before. It's upsetting, but I have to move on. We have to have moderation in all things we do. Am I knocking people who go out and smoke weed all day? No. If you go and you take care of the things that you have to and your responsibilities, and you're not sitting there living on mom and dad, sitting in the basement all day, sitting on your video games all day, then yeah, there's no problem with it. If you're out there working and you come home and you do it as a way to relieve stress, more power to you. Same with alcohol. If you go, you have 1 drink after you take care of your responsibilities, after you spend the time with your kids, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You're being responsible. I deliver alcohol for a living. And I was delivering this town, and it had to have been probably 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. And I'm walking into the bar. I'm pushing this cart of liquor into the bar. And this guy comes walking out with his wife, and his wife was ahead of him. And he was trashed. And I'm talking absolutely just trashed. He could barely walk. He was falling over. And I happened to glance at her and her face. And she was so embarrassed. This isn't the way They're supposed to be living. It's not their job to take care of us because of our own selfish desires. And then we sit there and wonder why marriages aren't working. Because you're not being the man that she married or the woman. We're not being the people that we are meant to be. We have to learn to accept life for what it is. We're going to work. We're going to have jobs. But we can't be mad at it. We can't go and drink it all away. We can't go and smoke some meth because we think that it's just going to make everything better. It doesn't. You end up losing everything. I've lost so many times. I've lost everything over and over and over. Every time that I have ever went to meth, by the time I was done, I had lost everything. Pawned all my movies, gave away everything I could, all because I let my addiction rule me. And it's happening to millions of people out there every single day. It doesn't matter what drug you're on. They all work the same way. I've done them all. Now we have drugs out there that you can't even touch, and people are willing to do them. People use substances and addictions to ease pain. Listen, I know you're hurting. I'm hurting. She's hurting. He's hurting. I deliver alcohol every day. I help people drown in their miseries, and I hate it. I see so many people stand at the door before they ever even open, just waiting to get that fireball shot, just waiting to get another drink. All I do is look around everywhere, and a majority of the people I see are unhappy. A majority of the people are drowning in their own misery. I see my people hurting, and my people is all of you. Doesn't matter what color skin you have. Doesn't matter where you were born, what you look like. We're all the same, and I don't like seeing any of you hurt. But the only way we fix our lives is by deciding that we are the reason and that we are going to change. We are going to be different. I'm not going to follow in the same path that I've always happened to follow because it has never led me anywhere. I have to be uncomfortable. I have to follow down that path that I don't want to go down. It's a little rocky. There's trees in the road. There's obstacles you're going to face. But we have to go through it in order to get through the other side. With anything in life, nothing's easy. Nothing comes easy. Never has. It's not going to now. But that stuff is worth it. The feeling is so much better when you know that you've worked hard to get to where you are. I have more than I've ever had in my entire life. I still struggle. I still have bills that I got to pay, bills that I'm behind on. But I know that I'm earning it honestly. I know that I can go and buy something if I need it. I went and bought this whole setup. I went and got everything and invested in this so I could help you. I'm tired of watching you guys hurt. I'm tired of seeing people struggle. But we are the reason. Us, as people, are the very reason we're still struggling. And only you can change it. Drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex addiction, emotional avoidance. It's all just a way for us to escape reality. But it's doing a number on your body. It's doing a number on your family, your kids. We have to do something different. If you were to look at yourself 20 years from now, say the person that is 20 years older than you right now, and he looks back on his life, looks back on her life. Are you going to like this? Are you going to look back and say, that's a good time in my life? Because most of the time we're not. And I know people, parents included, who look back at their life now and wish they would have made different decisions. I wish I would have at some time. So why not make the decision to be different so that 20-year older you can look at yourself now and be proud of you? Life's too short. I'm 41 years old and I still feel like I'm 20. My days don't even seem like they're 24 hours anymore. It goes by too fast for us to sit there and waste it. I did drugs because I wanted to hide from everything. I did drugs because I was so mad at everyone else. I was so mad at the people in school. I was so mad at the people that I could see. I didn't grow up with social media like we do now. All I saw was the people around me. Many of them were struggling. But then there was the ones who were doing well. They drove that new car. They had those new shoes. And I didn't. So I medicated. Whether I drank, did drugs. At some time or another, I had a porn addiction. I was younger. It wasn't an everyday thing. But I masked the real me. I masked everything that I felt, thinking that one day it'll get better. It'll work itself out. But it didn't. I had to make steps. I had to follow the road to get to where I was going and where I'm headed. The consequences and the mental toll that you're putting on yourself isn't worth it. I know that if you're sitting there and you're an addict, I know if you're having alcohol problems, it's eating you up. You may not show it. You may not admit it. But deep down inside of you, you know, I did. I know my stepdad wishes that he wasn't a drinker. I know people on meth that wish that they could get off of it, but they don't know how. They're not willing to make that change. They're comfortable. They're content. You're willing to sacrifice your entire life just for that temporal feeling. We need change. We need change. And I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than you in any way. Divide us, cause us to fight. That's quite the opposite. What I want is I want unity. I want growth. I want a community where if you're struggling, people like me are there to help you, to talk you through it, to have somebody. Not be like a parent who doesn't understand it, who's yelling at you to get clean, who's yelling at you to be better, when they've never struggled with it. I know many people who are addicted to drugs that their family or their parents never did them ever. So what's their parents' first reaction when it's happening? To yell at them, to cuss at them, because they've never been in that position. I have, many times. I've came out of it many times. I always knew I was going to go back to it. I didn't ever think that I would ever stay away from drugs ever. But I am. I did. I do. I don't need them anymore. Sure, I miss the fun times I had, the people that were around. But when I became sober, they weren't my friends no more. They weren't around. It became lonely. But I knew that I had to be different and that I wanted to do different. And that's why I'm doing this, is because I know there's people out there that are feeling the same way as I did. There's people out there who are struggling with addiction, struggling with cheating, struggling with robbing people. You have to make the decision to stop. Simple as that. We think it's so much harder. We sit here and struggle with it. But I promise you, once you start taking those steps, once you start realizing, it's a lot easier than you'll ever think it was. You can get through it, and on the other side, it's a lot nicer. Your past does not define you. It does not define you unless you let it. Don't let those people in your ear say that you're not better. You can't be better. You're always going to be that person. You don't have to be. I know a person right now, prison 12 years, at least. And now he's making tons of money a day as an inspector on the pipelines. I never in my day thought he would be where he's at. But he decided he needed to change. He got tired of being in prison. The rap sheet is ridiculous. But he didn't let that stop him. Whatever you've done, whatever you've done, you don't have to let it define you. If you've been to prison, you don't have to let it define you. If you robbed and stolen, if you had a sex addiction or a porn addiction, put it aside. Move forward. You don't have to let it decide what you're going to do the rest of your life. I didn't. I'm a supervisor now. I may not be doing exactly what I feel that I was put here to do, but it's a means to an end. It pays for my bills. It's helping me to fund all this. I wouldn't be having this camera that I'm talking into, this microphone in front of me. None of that without my job. And I didn't say, oh, I'm a felon. Oh, they're not going to hire me. I've been denied jobs. I'm a 2-time felon. I have drug felonies. But I didn't say, that's the end of my life. Life's over for me. I know many people who do that. Many people who come out of the system in prison. And they're like, oh, I can't get a job. I can't do this. But the problem is that you really haven't decided to change. You're still participating in a lot of the stuff that put you in prison. You haven't accepted the fact that they're denying you because they can see that you're not willing, or have you made that change? People notice things that you'll never understand. A lot of people can see this guy wants to change. This guy has decided to be accountable. And so they're going to continue to ignore you. They're going to continue to say, no, you can't work here. When people decide to change, there's a presence about you. There's a different aura that you give off. It's going to be hard. Not everyone's going to hire you. Depending on some of your charges, you might not ever be able to work. But it doesn't mean you have to go back to selling drugs. Find something that you can do. Whether you start your own lawnmower business, whether you start going and buying things and rebuilding them and shining them up and repainting and staining and selling them. Too many times I use the excuse that, oh, that's all I know. It's the only way I'm going to make money. But when I looked at it and realized that I could do other things and still make money, progress was made. Growth is possible. If you're willing, you have to be willing to change. And nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to hold your hand while you do it. Sure, I'll be there. I'll talk to you. I'll uplift you and help you. I hope that eventually I can get a bunch of other people who feel the same way as me. Put us all inside the community. Have us on Discord. So no matter when, what time of day, we can walk each other through it. If you're up at night and you're struggling and you're having bad thoughts, I hope that there's somebody there that will help you. But I have to build it from you guys. I can't do it on my own. And the people that I need to help are the people who have said, no more. I want to be different. And I'll find you. And then they're going to find each other. And then we'll eventually start this big old movement. A movement of change. A movement of freeing ourselves from the chains of addiction. Because I don't know about you, but I didn't like being shackled. I didn't like people telling me what to do, how to do it. That's what your addictions are doing. They're controlling you. You have to look at it. You have to understand it. And you have to say, no more. Why am I doing this podcast? For you. It's all about you. I spent the first few episodes talking about my life, showing you how I came to the realization of where I was and how I was going to change. But it's not about me no more. Never was. All I'm trying to do is show you that I'm a real person. I'm not some guru. I'm not some rich guy on here pretending to be something I'm not. I'm not no psychiatrist or doctor who can diagnose you with anything. I'm a real person working a real job that really does care. But you have to care as well, because nobody is ever going to care about you until you start caring about yourself. You have to look down in yourself and see if the change is what you want. And I hope it is. And I hope that you'll continue to allow this podcast to help you, because I have a lot of things planned for it. I want to go out and talk at schools and prisons, because I really do think a lot of people do want to change into prison. They just don't know how. And the system is not built to help you escape it. The system is built to keep you a part of it. They know that most of them are going to sit there and go back, because they don't want to accept the fact that they're responsible for why they're in there. And I hope that one day I can be in there and help you to realize that, yes, you're in there because of you. Yes, you can change. We all want different. We all want something better out of life. And it can't be with possessions. Many people have tons of possessions and they're miserable. Look at the people who have millions of dollars, people who were on public television, people that did all this stuff, and we idolized them. And what are they doing? They're committing suicide. We have to stop chasing possessions and start chasing ourselves. Stop running away from yourself. We have to stop thinking that the way out is by harming ourselves. We have to change our mindset. I'm tired of seeing people commit suicide. I've lost numerous people from it. I don't want to see another person die because they feel that there's nothing more for them. There is. And yes, it's not as easy as ending it. It's a process. It's going to take time, but it's a lot more beneficial. Think of all the people you're going to hurt if you harm yourself. It's not just you. You're the one that doesn't feel anything. But think about your parents, your brothers, your sisters. It's not the way out. We don't have to continue to do it. We need to stop doing it at record numbers. Yes, the world is not in the best of places. Yes, there are things that we don't agree with happening, but we can't control those, and we can't let them control us. What happens is what happens. Whether you're religious or not, I believe that all things happen for a reason. Can you alter sometimes how it happens, how it takes place? Yes, but it's still going to happen eventually the way it was supposed to. We need change. And if you are thinking about hurting yourself, seek help. Message me. Your life is worth it. You matter. Don't let anything or anyone ever convince you that you're not. The vision with Grind with Chris is to come together in many different ways. I have a whole ecosystem I plan. I help you out in any way that I can. There's a lot I have planned for this. But the number one thing that I need for it is you. Plain and simple. Without you, none of this exists. Without you, it means nothing. Society has become disconnected, divided, and reactive. We need to come together. We need to get back to where we're not letting the social medias take away our relationships, take away the time that we have. People are built to be together. People are made. And yes, I understand the world is scary. There's scary people out there, but we can't let that stop us. We need to get together, be a unit, have fun again. And in my eyes, the world was a better place. In the 90s, we got together and we barbecued. We are the reason we're veering off. So why don't we be that spark for people? Why don't we be that light for everyone else to see, yes, we can get back to that place. And we might not be able to do it with everybody. But if we can do it with who wants to be able to do it, I'm fine with that. I know there's people out there lonely. I know there's people out there that want someone to talk to. That's what Grind with Chris is all about. Coming together, sharing our problems, and helping each other out. We have to get away from the bullying. We have to get away from the hate, not liking somebody because of their beliefs, not liking someone because of the way they dress, who they voted for. It's all petty. We have to figure out why that kid's bullying. Let's be the person to talk to them. Because most of the time, bullies are just acting out. That's all they're doing. So we need to be the one to lend a hand. So many times I see people not helping people no more. You see people broke down on the side of the road. Nobody stops. You see somebody hurt. Nobody stops. Of course, you have to be careful of the situations you put yourself in, because there are dangerous people. But we can't continue to just ignore everybody else. It's not working for us. We're more divided than we've ever been. And it's sad to see. It's time that we encourage people. We build them up. We give them a pat on the back. So many times I see somebody in a fight, someone severely hurt. And what are people doing? Videotaping it. Not a single person in that entire circle is trying to lend a hand. They're too worried about the followers and the people that they want to impress instead of helping that person when they need it. We have to put our phones down. We have to put aside the electronics. We need to limit. I'm not saying completely get rid of them, but use them in moderation so that we can see that person hurting, so we can see that other person and help them. Pull them out of the rut. Stop them from harming themselves. Help them with their addictions. It's time. It's time for a change. So again, we have to become accountable. Without accountability, there is no growth, there is no unity. We have to be accountable that the world is the way it is because of us, not because of some politician, not because of some religion, not because of some parents, because of us. It's trickling down. We have to change ourselves so that way we don't affect the people below us, so they learn better. And when they have kids, they don't teach their kids the same way we taught them. And it just starts a chain reaction. Let's start a chain reaction that will benefit people, that will help them. That's what we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you right now to sit back, look at your life, no matter where you are, just stop, think about it. Where is one thing in your life, one area that you can change, that you want to change? There's always somewhere that people need change. There's one aspect of every single one of our lives that we want to be different. Think in your mind, look at it, and then start to think about the plans. What steps do I have to make in order for it to be different? And then the part that most people resist is the execution. Make the plan and execute it. And once you change that part of your life, you'll be amazed at the other things that will begin to change. It's a beautiful feeling. And I hope that you'll look at it and you'll do what I'm asking you to do, because we have to do the things that we don't want to do. We can't just think about them. We have to do them. I encourage you to look at reflection and don't look at blame. You can't take back anything you've done. The only thing you could do is look back at it and see what you did and how to move forward. Don't sit in guilt. Don't sit in regret. And don't sit in blame. Move past those. That's one of the first steps to growth. You learn to become accountable for it. Understand, yes, I did that. No, I'm not going to do it no more. And move forward. Regret don't help nobody. Blame doesn't help nobody. It keeps you stuck. So I hope that you will follow that. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about my ecosystem a little more in depth. What I have planned, where I hope it heads, and how all of us together can build it. And then after that, I'm going to have a 4-part series, because we all have to have self-reflection. And after the Grind with Chris ecosystem, episode 6, it becomes all about you. How to recognize patterns, how to look at people differently, how to understand if you're being fearful. There's so much after this, and it's going to be for you. And so we're going to do a 4-part series about the people in your lives, how to recognize them. Because you have adders, subtractors, multipliers, and dividers. And some of those people stay stuck in what they are in the category, But also, you could learn to be an adder 1 minute and be a subtractor the next one. Or you could be a divider and end up being a multiplier. And it's going to show you how to look around at everybody in your life and decide, are they one of these people? And how to feed off of the positivity, off of the good ones, and how to push out the ones that are not good for you. I hope to see you there, because I was my own worst enemy. And now I'm my greatest asset.